Have you ever noticed how some people retire and seem happier than ever, while others slowly lose their spark? The difference is rarely money, it is rarely luck. More often than not, it begins with something much smaller, the way they start each morning. Retirement is not the end of a meaningful life. It is the beginning of a chapter where every sunrise offers a new choice. Will you wake up with purpose, or will you let another day quietly drift away? Today I want to share what I learned after retirement, because these simple morning rituals gave me back a life I thought I had already lived. When I retired, I believed I had earned the right to rest. After decades of working, raising a family, paying bills, and solving problems, I imagined peaceful mornings with no alarm clock and no responsibilities. At first, it felt wonderful. I slept late, drank coffee slowly, and watched television for hours. But within a few months, something unexpected happened. The excitement faded. Every day looked exactly like the one before it. Without realizing it, I had stopped living intentionally. I was simply passing time. One morning I looked at the calendar and realized an entire month had disappeared. I couldn't remember anything special that had happened. That frightened me more than aging itself. It was then I asked myself a difficult question. If I have been given this time, why am I wasting it? That question changed everything. Instead of searching for a dramatic purpose, I started with something simple. I decided to create a meaningful morning. Not a perfect morning, not an expensive morning. Just a morning that reminded me I was still alive. Every day. I woke up 15 minutes earlier. I opened the curtains before touching my phone. I stood quietly by the window and watched the sunrise. At first, it seemed insignificant, but slowly, those quiet moments became the foundation of my happiness. The sunrise reminded me that every single day is a fresh beginning. No matter how old we become, soon I added another habit. Before drinking coffee, I wrote down 3 things I appreciated. Some mornings it was my health. Other mornings it was hearing birds outside. Sometimes it was simply being able to walk without pain. Gratitude changed the way I looked at my life. Instead of focusing on what retirement had taken away, I noticed everything it had given me. Many people believe purpose comes from a job title. I used to think that too. When someone asked, "What do you do?" I proudly answered with my profession. After retirement, that answer disappeared. For a while, I felt invisible. Then I realized something important. Your purpose was never your paycheck. Your purpose is how you improve the lives around you. Once I understood that, retirement became exciting. I started calling an old friend every Wednesday morning. Sometimes we talked for 5 minutes. Sometimes an hour. Those conversations became highlights of my week. I volunteered at a local community center. I read books to children once a week. Their smiles reminded me that experience never becomes useless. Young people don't always need our money. Sometimes they simply need our patience. One of the greatest mistakes retirees make is believing they no longer matter. Nothing could be further from the truth. Your wisdom has value. Your stories have value. Your kindness has value. Never underestimate the impact of simply showing up for someone. I also learned the importance of movement. I wasn't trying to become an athlete. I simply walked every morning. At first it was 10 minutes. Then 20. Eventually 40. Those walks healed more than my body. They cleared my mind. Nature became my therapist. The changing seasons reminded me that every stage of life has its own beauty. Spring teaches hope. Summer teaches energy. Autumn teaches gratitude. Winter teaches patience. Retirement contains all 4. Some mornings I carried a small notebook. Whenever an interesting idea appeared, I wrote it down. Little dreams returned. I wanted to learn photography. I wanted to paint landscapes. I wanted to cook meals I had never tried before. None of these dreams earned money. They earned something far more valuable. Joy. Many people stop learning after retirement. That is one of life's greatest tragedies. The human mind is designed to stay curious. Learn a language. Study history. Practice music. Explore. Gardening. Take online classes. Every new skill reminds your brain that life is still expanding. Creative mornings became my secret weapon. Instead of beginning each day with the news, I began with creation. Some mornings I wrote short journal entries. Other mornings I sketched trees in my backyard. Sometimes I simply arranged flowers in a vase. Creativity isn't about talent. It is about paying attention. Purpose often hides inside ordinary moments. Retirement also gave me something I never had before: time to forgive. For years, I carried old disappointments, people who hurt me, mistakes I regretted, conversations I wished I could change. One quiet morning, I realized those memories were stealing today's peace. So I began letting them go, not because they deserved forgiveness, because I deserved freedom. That decision lifted a weight I had carried for decades. Another beautiful ritual became writing letters. Not emails, real handwritten letters. I thanked teachers, old coworkers. Family members, friends I hadn't spoken to in years. Some replied with tears, others called immediately. Several said my letter arrived exactly when they needed encouragement. I discovered that kindness has perfect timing. One retirement morning can change someone else's entire week. Purpose grows when shared. Many retirees fear loneliness. I understand that fear. Children become busy. Friends move away. Neighbors change. But loneliness isn't solved by waiting for invitations. It is solved by becoming the person who reaches out first. Invite someone for coffee, join a reading club, attend community events. Smile at strangers. Connection begins with courage. There was another habit that completely changed my emotional health. Every morning, I asked myself one simple question: who can I encourage today? Some days it was my daughter. Some days a neighbor. Sometimes a cashier who looked exhausted. Encouragement costs almost nothing, yet its value is impossible to measure. Never assume people know they matter. Tell them. One lesson surprised me more than any other. Retirement isn't about slowing down. It is about slowing enough to notice what truly matters. For decades, I rushed through breakfast. Now I actually taste it. I hurried through conversations. Now I listen carefully. I chased deadlines. Now I appreciate moments. Life became richer. Not because I owned more, but because I finally noticed more. My mornings also became quieter. I stopped filling every silence with noise. No television. No constant scrolling. Just peaceful reflection. Silence allows forgotten dreams to speak again. It allows gratitude to grow. It allows wisdom to appear. The world tells us productivity means doing more. Retirement taught me productivity can also mean becoming more patient. More generous. More joyful. More present. That is success. I met a man in his 80s during one of my morning walks. Every day he carried seeds in his pocket. He scattered them wherever flowers could grow. I asked why. He smiled and said, "Someone else will enjoy these blooms long after I'm gone." I never forgot those words. Purpose means planting seeds you may never see blossom. Maybe your seed is kindness. Maybe it is teaching. Maybe it is generosity. Maybe it is forgiveness. Plant it anyway. Many people worry about leaving a legacy. They imagine large fortunes or famous achievements. But legacy is much simpler. It is how people feel after spending time with you. Do they've encouraged? Do they feel heard? Do they smile more? That is a legacy worth building. Morning rituals are not magical because they are complicated. They are powerful because they are consistent. Small actions repeated every day quietly shape extraordinary lives. One grateful thought. One healthy walk. One encouraging message. One creative project. One meaningful conversation. Repeat these often enough, and retirement becomes deeply fulfilling. There were still difficult mornings. I still experienced sadness. I still missed loved ones. Growing older does not remove pain, but meaningful rituals gave me something stronger than pain. They gave me hope. Hope wakes up before fear. Hope gets dressed. Hope opens the curtains. Hope takes the first step outside. Hope believes another beautiful day is possible. If you are already retired, remember this: your best contribution may still be ahead of you. The world needs experienced hearts. It needs calm voices. It needs people who have survived life's storms and can guide others through theirs. Never believe your most important chapter has already been written. And if retirement still feels far away, begin preparing now. Don't wait until work ends to discover your purpose. Build meaningful habits. Today, protect your health today. Strengthen friendships today. Practice gratitude. Today. The habits you create before retirement become the foundation of happiness after retirement. As I look back now, I realize retirement did not give me a new life. It gave me a new way to see the life I already had. Every sunrise became an invitation. Instead of a routine, every morning became an opportunity. Instead of an obligation, every day became a gift waiting to be opened with intention. So, tomorrow morning, before the world demands your attention, give yourself a few quiet moments. Open the curtains.